So it wasn't a time
Okay, just
that
like here at home, Jessica,
yeah,
my wife, she would do the same. No, 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 no. Let me do
yeah.
it.
I was really busy, like working, studying, that I didn't have a lot of time. And my friends were like, no, you need to have a life outside work. You need to like go on dates, meet people. You need to get out of the house. And I was like, I don't really want to. And here there's this app called Bumble that Richard mentioned. And unlike Tinder, Bumble, the chat only opens if the girl messages first. If the girl doesn't send you a message, you have no way to talking to her. So I was in this app and I had seen his profile like several times. I
Tell
would
them
see it.
delete and I get a new one.
Yeah. Every time that I would see it, I was like, oh, he's cute. But then in his description, he would say that he's a comedian. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to work for me. So I would swipe left. And then he would pop up again, and then again, and then again, because he kept deleting the app and doing it again to reappear to people. You know what I mean?
To notice.
Yeah. And then one day I was at the bar with my friends, and they were telling me like, "Oh, you really need to start like going on dates, like have a
Uh-huh.
life, etc." And then
That
my
that was in Toronto?
phone back in Toronto, yeah.
Okay.
My friend got my phone and started swiping, and then his profile popped up, and I was like, "Oh, I see this guy all the time, and he's really cute, but he's a comedian. I don't think that's gonna work because I'm not really that outgoing, and like I don't talk a lot. I'm more on my own space kind of thing, and I just thought like we just not gonna have anything to talk about. Like that's just like not a match." And my friend just goes, "No, a comedian's everything that you need," and then it swiped right. And then it was a match, and I messed at the bar. I was like, "Hey, how are you?" Just to open the chat. And then he asked me out for dinner. We talked a little bit, and he asked me out for dinner. And I was like, okay, so we're gonna meet on Saturday for dinner. And then I saw his Instagram. I found him on Instagram. And when I saw his Instagram, I was like, there's absolutely no way on earth that I was like, no, it's not happening. And I called my friends and I was like, I don't want to just like, no. No. Because he plays this character online, and I was just like, I don't know. Just no. And then I spent the whole Saturday at my house trying to come up with an excuse to not go on the date. And I was like, what am I going to say? I don't know what to say. And then I finally I was going to say that I was sick. And then just like ghost him forever, like not reply to any of his text from that moment on. And then I swear to God, it was the weirdest thing. I picked up my phone to send him the text saying that I was sick. He called me. And then my phone was ringing, and I was like, first of all, who the hell calls? And like, and I was just looking at and I was like, do I answer? Like, what is happening? And then I pick up the phone, and he goes like, oh, I wanted to call you because I don't want to do this over text, but I got a show because he's a stand-up comedian. I got a show for tonight, so I won't be able to make it to our dinner. And I was like, oh, damn Christ, I won't have to say that I'm sick anymore. And I was like, yes. And in my head, I was like, I don't need the excuse anymore. So I was like, oh, that's totally fine. Like, and he was like, I'm really sorry. I like messed up with the plans. And I was like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I have nothing planned for today. I'm just chilling. Don't worry. It's totally fine. In my head, I was like, yeah, I totally got out of it. And then he goes, well, if you're just chilling in the house, you have nothing to do, let's move.
Yeah, smart, eh?
And I was like,
Ooh. I think,
had
Richard, I think if you had thought it through, you would never have come up with such a great way to
Yeah.
make it
yeah.
impossible to her to try to
But he didn't
deceive you.
know that I didn't want to go at that point. But like,
Yeah.
but
Smart
then
guy.
I was like, well, I just said that I can't just come out right now and say like, oh no, wait, I'm sick. Like that would be kind of rude. And I was just like, okay, let's go then. So we went to the same restaurant that we were going to go at night, but we went earlier. And then we got there, we started talking. And the first thing he told me, he's like, I know you saw my Instagram, but I need you to know that that's a character. That's not me. And then we start talking, and then he tells me that he's a teacher, he works with kids, and then here we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you started getting two problems out of the way right from the start. First
Yeah.
one, she was going to tell you she was sick, and then you, not going to happen. And then her first, maybe greatest objection about the character you were on Instagram, you went right. Wow,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. That's
Yeah.
I have to say I liked her explanation a little bit more than yours.
I'm trying to talk slow, and I don't. Maybe I'm trying too hard at time.
No, don't do that. Don't do that because that's one of the points. Like at the end, I'm gonna ask them, what if you could have understood and had, because at the end, it's all about emotions that we want to have. Everybody that is trying to become fluent in English is, as everything we do in life, we are after emotions. We are after the way we are going to feel about ourselves at some point. So when they say, I want to be fluent, actually what they're saying is, I want to be able to marry somebody that I've been dating and he's a Canadian or a British, whatever. And actually there is something even after that, which is to be able to experience the emotions when we talk. Or when they say they want to make more money, when they say they want to study abroad. At the end, the last, if you do this process, and why is this important? And why the last one is going to be a good emotion that they're going to feel. So when we finish, I'm going to ask them, what if you could have laughed as I did? And, oh, what? Because this is to really be fluent. It's real life. It's real, because there are people here who believe they are fluent, but yet they are not understanding a lot of things you are saying. So that's not to be fluent. To be really fluent is to be able to speak English whenever I want, to whoever I want, and wherever I am, without having to plan or translate.
Okay.
You can just start talking, and that's the point. So please just be yourself.
Okay.
Wow, that's amazing. Just one question. That day you first went out, you went to I think a restaurant. You said a restaurant.
Yeah.
How long ago are we talking about here? 6 years, 5 years?
No, that was October 2019.
Yeah. Almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years.
4 years. I believe, Richard, if you are not good with dates, you had to develop because somebody is very good about dates. Yes?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Anna has taught me a lot to be a better man.
Wow. Kudos for you. So, agora que a gente falou a respeito disso, vamos para a próxima questão. Now that we talked about how you guys met, and let's go to the next question. I just remembered, Anna, when your father, when I asked your father, when I was with him, I actually, it was me and your father and your mother going back home. Do you know Mr. Tugas?
No, I don't think he's been there.
No, you.
I do.
I live in São Paulo, the biggest, largest city in Brazil. The best restaurants are here, but Mr. Tugas might be the best pizzeria in the country. It's completely unbelievable, and it's amazing. And we are coming back from Mr. Tugas, and then he told me about your relationship, and I asked, how did they meet? And then he said it was online, it had been online, and then when you told them, oh, I'm seeing this guy, we met online, they were like, no, Anna, online, no, it's not gonna work, blah, blah, blah. Because it's what we tend to think, and yet this time, I told you that we would be able to see something in your story that would be proof that you are capable of making things work out that nobody else does. So again, you learn English with songs and lyrics and magazines, and you found 1 in a million right guy on an online dating app. Richard, to finish, I believe if you tell us a little bit about the process of rebuilding self-esteem and self-confidence and sense of identity, whatever, with the kids and teenagers you work with, we are going to be able to get something that we can use for English, because, again, it's all about feelings and emotions, and talking about developing English fluency. It's all about, it's not here. It's here.
Yeah.
Because, of course, I'm talking about my persona, my prospect, my type of student, which is the guy who has studied, he knows English, but he can't speak. So for people who have already studied and they cannot live or perform, it's not here, it's here. It's I am, I deserve, I can. The feeling of identity and the feeling of the kind of life I deserve to live here, not what I think. So it's all about this feelings and emotions changing process, and I believe that you have to do something very similar with the kids and teenagers you work with, because they are emotionally stuck. So tell us a little bit about how you do that with the kids and teenagers, because I believe that we are going to get something from that to our English development.
Yeah. Well, what I'll say is, a huge part of it right now, at least what I'm doing, is I'm trying to build connections and relationships with the kids, because they need to be able to trust me. If I go in there right away and I start telling them, don't swear, don't fight, don't hit people, it's not going to do anything. They need to know that they can be able to trust me. So what we do is we build a rapport, like a relationship, and I find that lessons that I can teach them are going to grow organically. So I've already been told to fuck off. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to swear. I've already been sworn at already at this job. I've only been there a week, and by a kid. So what I did is, like what you said about the emotions, is I understand that, how can I help you? And let them know that I'm here for you. So in any type of connection that you're trying to make, whether it's learning English, if it's not your first language, or meeting Anna, or working with these kids, it's all about less about the words and more about what you're showing in your heart. Are you showing these people that you want to have a relationship with them? And if they can trust you, then they'll give you more. And that's just life. That any relationship you have with anybody, you needs to be built on a trust, and those things. We have many ways of building trust. So my goal is to, help them to trust me, and then allow me to show them how they can be better and how they can grow. If that makes sense.
Wow, it makes total sense. Eu vou resumir a resposta dele em inglês e depois eu traduzo para o português para a gente fechar. In one sentence, I think, eu perguntei para ele sobre o trabalho que ele desenvolve com as crianças, de recuperar a autoestima delas, porque eu acredito que a gente poderia aprender com isso para o inglês, e aconteceu. Então é sobre isso. I was just explaining them what I had asked you and what was the answer about. In one sentence, I'm going to summarize in a nutshell his answer as, in 2 words, building trust. Building trust. And it has way much more to do with your English fluency than you could ever imagine. And I'm going to tell you why. Se você já estudou inglês e não consegue falar, if you have already studied English and yet you can't speak it, 99% the chances are you have been through a bad experience with English that created an emotional trauma. Let's make it clear. You are afraid of being rejected by native speakers. The way they're going to look at you, the way they will despise you, the way they're going to like, oh, come on, what are you doing here? If you can't speak it, go back to your country, get out of my store, get out of my line, I have to serve people, whatever. Or maybe you are afraid of being rejected by your boss, your company, because you have to speak English. And if you can't, they will fire you, or they will not choose you for that promotion. We can break it down to a fear of rejection. That's what I'm going to call it. And guess what? It's exactly the same with the kids and teenagers he's working with. Why are they so aggressive? Because they fear rejection, because they were rejected and they know it hurts a lot. So when they do, or when they are not lovely with Richard, what they're saying is, they are so afraid of being abandoned by him, it's going to hurt so much that they do it first. They reject him first. They hurt him first before they end up opening themselves, start loving him, and then, because that's what they believe. If they continue in a relationship with Richard, they are sure he will abandon them at some point. Because that's what they know. That's what they were taught by life. That's the conclusion they were led to. So, e o que isso tem a ver com construir confiança? Where does building trust come into play here? The most important thing for somebody who is afraid of being rejected is finding somebody they can trust. Mm-hmm. And the best would be for you to be that person for yourself. But
Yeah.
that's very likely not gonna be the case. So you need to find a mentor, a master, a teacher, somebody that you will trust. And unless you start and do that, everything else is not gonna work because it's not here, it's here.
Yeah.
It all starts with building trust and confidence. I completely agree with your approach, 100%. Like, after they are completely open to you and trust you really for real, that's when you are ready to start talking about rational things and what they should or should not do. And that
Right.
then they will listen to you, because now they're not, we're talking about, who are you?
Yeah.
I don't care. Yes. Wow, wow, wow. Excellent, excellent, amazing. I really want to thank you guys for being here. I hope, really, 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 I hope we can meet again
Yeah.
and talk again. I really, really loved it. And I am sure everybody. Aqueles que conseguiram entender, pelo menos uns 70%, com certeza amaram, porque foi. É exatamente esse o meu ponto com esse episódio aqui, com essa linha editorial. This is exactly my point with this type of content, the Fluency Talk Show, to become a better human being in English. Learning English in a way that's gonna make me a better person, a better father, a better professional, a better husband, a better wife, a better father, whatever. And I am the first one to live tonight a better person with the things that I heard from you. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. And para você que eu vou postar aqui agora, e vou pedir para a pessoa que está me acompanhando, não sei se é o Alex ou a Fran, para postar também o link. Sem ser esse sábado, no outro, a gente vai fazer o Saturday Morning Live, um mês de progresso em um aulão, aprendendo inglês, através de histórias igual criança, sem estudar. Can you believe? I'm going to show you just a moment. Because after everything we talked, it's going to look like it's marketing, and it's not. So let me just show you for a moment. Anna and Richard, or Rick. I think it's better Rick, yes? Here, Rick,
Yeah.
it's written a month progress in one intensive big class. It's one morning, learning English without studying through stories. When I say without studying, it's exactly about what we were talking about, Anna. No, there's no, it's what we did here. It's learning through interesting conversations, stories, life stories, and all that stuff. But there's no feeling, or there's no traditional studying for that matter. And esse é o aulão que eu vou fazer no dia 5 de agosto, sábado, é um sábado às 9 horas da manhã. E eu vou resumir para você da forma mais direta possível. Se você deseja assistir uma conversa dessa e entender, se emocionar, rir, achar interessante, o tanto que foi... Cara, quando ela contou do encontro deles, foi super engraçado. Super engraçado, porque, cara, os amigos dela falando para ela, cara, você vai viver, para de trabalhar, vai curtir um pouco, vai namorar, vai sair, vai... E ela aí ela começou a olhar o aplicativo E aí, toda hora ele aparecia, mais nada. E aí, um dia ela estava no barzinho e, de novo, pessoal, pô, cara, você tinha que sair mais, você tinha que se divertir, você está trabalhando muito. Ela foi lá, abriu o aplicativo, ele apareceu de novo, ela falou, e mandou uma mensagem, eles começaram a conversar. E aí, na hora que foi, ela viu o Instagram dele, e ele é um personagem lá, meio comediante. Aí ela falou, there is absolutely no way I'm gonna date this guy. Cara, eu rachei de rir na hora. E aí ela conta que ia falar para ele que estava doente, mas aí ele ligou falando que não ia conseguir sair. Aí ela, ufa, mas ele não ia sair à noite. Aí ela se desarmou e falou, não, relaxa, eu tô de boa, você não estragou nada, eu não tinha nada planejado para hoje. Eu ia ficar em casa e tal. Aí ele virou e falou, então já que você não tinha nada planejado para hoje, vamos sair agora. O que ela vai fazer? Vai falar o quê? Ela acabou de confessar que não tinha nada. Cara, se você quer poder participar, assistir uma conversa dessa, ou qualquer outra, e rir, como todo mundo estaria rindo quando ela contou, se a gente estivesse aqui com a galera assistindo, se emocionar, entender, aprender as coisas que ele falou sobre o trabalho que ele faz com as crianças, pô, sensacional. E até mesmo entender o Instagram dele, se você for lá, que é engraçadíssimo os vídeos. Você vai precisar ficar fluente em inglês. E para você ficar fluente em inglês, você precisa ter prazer no teu relacionamento com o inglês. Para você chegar nesse nível, você vai ter que passar meses com o inglês. E você não vai conseguir passar meses com o inglês se você odeia o inglês. Então, acima de tudo, você tem que reconstruir a sua autoconfiança de que você consegue aprender inglês e o prazer e o tesão de estudar inglês. Você talvez tenha que recriar, ou então talvez você nunca teve, você vai ter que criar. É sobre isso que é o aulão que vai acontecer no dia 5 de agosto, ok? Então, I'm gonna thank you guys again. I'm gonna allow you and let you go right now. I'll be sure to keep in touch with you and to try and schedule another conversation at some point because I really, really loved it and it was so interesting and I learned a lot. Thank you guys so much.
I visited Brazil, guys, for the first time about a year and a half ago, and I love your country. You guys have a great country.
Had the time of his life.
Amazing food, beaches, the barbecues. I went to Christ the Redeemer. It was a great time.
When was that?
Christmas 2021.
Okay, excellent.
Went to Rio. The Redeemer parties.
Amazing.
You guys have a great culture.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Loved it. See you. E para você que quer adquirir o seu ingresso para o aulão, eu vou deixar o Zoom ligado aí para uns 5 minutos. Aperta na tela preço promocional de ingresso de primeiro lote, 1 mês de progresso em um aulão aprendendo inglês sem estudar através de histórias. Comprando seu ingresso você ganha participação no Zoom ao vivo, que vai ser no dia 5 de agosto, sábado de manhã. A gravação completa para você assistir quando você quiser. PDF, slide e o áudio que a gente vai gravar no final da aula. Beijo no seu coração. Deus abençoe a todos. Valeu. Thank you.